Hey everyone, we're the Violet Reality, and some breaking news from Chanhassen, Minnesota. It seems that Graceland have given up their contract or have ended their contract with Paisley Park Museum, meaning the Paisley Park Museum is going to be handed over for control to the Prince estate and family. What does that mean? Let's find out. So, as you may remember, Paisley Park as a museum was opened almost 3 years ago at the end of 2016, the same year that Prince passed. They rushed through the plans that Prince had left behind for opening a museum, got everything in order, and brought in the people from Graceland to get it off the ground and to run the place. Now, of course, the people who run Graceland have been running the museum there for decades, and it's one of the most popular tourist attractions in the entire US, not even just Memphis. It brings in a huge amount of revenue every year. I'm sure you've all seen footage of Elvis fans all dressed up heading to Graceland. It's a big, big money spinner. They've got a hotel there and all sorts. So it only made sense for Prince's family and estate to bring in people who knew what they were doing. Of course, the big problem being that Chanhassen is very far outside Minneapolis and not in the center of the city like Graceland is in Memphis. But all in all, it seems like they have done a decent job. We've attended 2 of the 3 celebrations that have happened in the past few years as VIPs with media passes. And we've been very impressed with the guests and musicians that they've brought in there.
And then, of course, you know that outside of the celebration event and all the things at Paisley Park, they also did this really cool event that was called My Name is Prince, where they took some of Prince's clothes, Prince's outfits that all of the archivists in Paisley Park had put together and like all sorted out. They took them to, first they took them to the UK, then they took them to the Netherlands, and that was really awesome that they did that. And that was then something that Graceland did as well. But it's time for some changes and things around that. I think something that I would really like to see is for them, if the Prince estate and obviously Prince's family as well is going to now finally have control over Paisley Park, is try and get them to bring in maybe some younger audiences. I think that is really important, because the thing that we're trying to do here on our channel as well is that we're trying to bring that message of like the person who Prince was and like the amazing music that he made to a younger generation of people. And I wonder how they can structure it so that they can pull in the younger crowd and then still also have all of the fans that have been there for years and years and years come back to Paisley Park and celebration, but also, you know, to Paisley outside of celebration events, and how they can make it an attraction and a museum that will keep gaining crowds throughout the years, because that's really important, because we really do not want Paisley Park to be shut down at some point. Like, that would be absolutely awful if that were to happen.
Yeah, we definitely don't want Paisley Park to be shut down. So I think they need to continue a few things they've been doing really well. And they've been doing some really good stuff on the kind of educational front. So doing discounts for like different schools and things like that to have tours. And I'd like to see more of that, and then working with like Minnesota Historical Foundations, the University of Minneapolis. I think there could be more collaboration between the university and Paisley Park. I did note that there is an upcoming live show happening at Paisley Park, which is the Nookie Jones show that's happening. We saw the lead singer of that band when we were in Minneapolis last time, and it looks like this is an event that's one of the first events that's going to be happening after the handover. So it does seem like they are trying to open it up as more of an ongoing live performance place. So that's a really good start. I hope that continues. I would like to see them bring in some really big artists that were not just, you know, Prince's bands and things like that. So like Lenny Kravitz and people he worked with, like Gwen Stefani, people like that. They could do shows at Paisley, sell tickets. That'd be really great to see.
And then also like people that looked up to him as like him being their mentor later on in the year. So think of people like Janelle Monáe. Like, I think it's really important that they start doing stuff like, you know, the Paisley Park After Dark and like the Paisley Park concerts again. Like sort of like, you know, the hit and run kind of feel, where he would announce a show at Paisley Park like 2 days before or like on the same day for that night. And people would just come to Paisley Park and just have a good time listening to music and just spending time together. I think that is so important to keep that that vibe going again. Because whilst I think it's very strong as a museum, I think it's even stronger as well as a live music venue where you can see acts that have something to do with Prince, or maybe even, you know, newer acts that were inspired by Prince, just to like have that opportunity to play there and potentially also start using the studios again. But that's like a really, really massive idea to do like on the side of the museum. I just think that would gain a lot of like more attraction to it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, they definitely need to reopen the studios. These were custom built, state of the art studios that Prince continued to upgrade and continued to fix. And it's just an absolute travesty that, you know, these studios have been mostly unused since Prince passed away. Now, the problem with big studios like this, and the reason that it kind of fell out of fashion, was because most musicians can't afford to book big studios. So I think if Paisley could work with different kind of educational foundations, who could help support the kind of financial aspect part of it. You've got wonderful people in Minneapolis and everywhere, music and arts foundations teaching music. And I think if Paisley could work with those kind of places, bring young musicians in to use the rehearsal space, the recording space, teach them how to use different things, that would be something that I think would be awesome. And I think Prince would really support that as well, kind of teaching the next generation.
Yeah, because remember how in one of like the last TV appearances he made, he got the question that was, if you would have not been like Prince and if you would have had to have any different kind of job, he said that he would have loved to be like a teaching kind of person. And I think that obviously the link here is that he probably would have thought music. And I think to be able for young people to experience that in his studios, making music there and having that feel of like his spirit always being around them would be so good to have. But you know, just like we're saying, that's a really, really big future plan, and let's just see what's gonna happen now. What do you people think? What does everyone in the comments think is gonna happen now? You think that they're gonna change things up or keep things mostly the same? And what would you like to see at Paisley Park? Tell us that.
Yeah, drop us a comment. Tell us what you want to see happen with Paisley Park. I think one thing that we can all agree on is that it's not going to be easy. It's a place that has a lot of challenges. And I think as a fan base and a community, we all need to really support the estate and the family in this transition period and with what they do next with Paisley Park. Because the one thing that I think we can all agree on, even if you're not a fan of what the estate's done so far or what the family have been doing, nobody wants to see Paisley Park shut down and just become just a random building that doesn't get used for anything and is on the market and it's just empty, like what's happened with Neverland, you know, MJ's place. They haven't found a buyer. It's been on the market for years. It's just a big empty building. Doesn't mean anything anymore. You know, we don't want something like that to happen to Paisley Park. So let us know in the comments what you think they should do with the place. It's going to be an interesting few months to see how it plays out. Don't forget to subscribe, click the little bell for notifications. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. We're The Violet Reality. Peace.
Bye.
Hey, St. Paul here. Make sure you go subscribe to The Violet Reality, the funkiest channel on YouTube.